Okay, so this is finally, we finished everything we need to talk about. And it is really my pleasure throughout this whole journey of, for a lot of you, starting out physics for the first time, at least college physics for the first time, or even if this is not the first one, it's probably the first one in a while. So it is really a genuine pleasure to work with you guys. And if you understand the goals of my class, and hopefully I've achieved it. In day one, I always want to set out the expectations, set out my goals, and throughout the course, try to be able to achieve those goals. So if you let's rewind all the way back to day one, 5 weeks ago. There is really two goals in my course. The first goal is really to train you the necessary skills to think like a physicist. Why? And I don't really. Everything else, all the formulas and stuff, yes, all of those are in the tests, in the homework, in the assessments. But those are only relevant for these 5 weeks. It's not going to be relevant, well, if you take on 3B and 3C, yes, a little bit of, in fact, a lot of what we learned over here in the skills do actually impact there. But essentially, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to really impact your life. Even certain, what I call, there are hard skills and soft skills in life. Hard skills are particular problem-solving skills, and drawing a free body diagram, manipulating trigonometry, knowing how to solve sine, cosine, tangent, those are hard skills. But more importantly, there are soft skills. Soft skills mean skills that you are able to transfer from subject to subject. They are transferable skills. They are more about thinking. You want to be able to train yourself how to think smarter and think in a more mature and a more advanced way than others. And physics is a very, very good training ground for that. Even though we are training you hard skills, and that's where almost a lot of, it is almost unfortunate by design, the course puts so much emphasis on this because it's a physics course after all, so it has to teach you physics hard skills. But don't forget, at the bottom of it, at the fundamental level of it, it's really train your thinking. That's my take on instructors' solution manuals. That's why it's a bad place to learn, not because of you copying. Well, that's bad, but to me that's secondary. It's really because it teaches you the wrong skill. It teaches you hard skill. It focuses so much more on hard skill than soft skill. And we put a lot of effort to design the course in terms to train you this, so that the assessments actually reflect that. The assessment, the way we assess it, reflects our value, reflects what we care, and reflects throughout the lectures. You see what I put emphasis on discussing, what I choose to discuss, what I choose not to discuss. So we have skipped some of the hard skills because I believe if you know how to study physics, if you know how to study physics, you will know how to study any difficult subject. If you can master physics, you can master anything. So I really think you guys did extremely well, and it's a really massive achievement for you guys, right? You deserve a pat on the back, so that's why we focus on the thinking skills. So that's goal number one, right? So hopefully you have increased that ability throughout this course, and I have achieved that goal for you. Number two is more of a semi-selfish goal, but it's still beneficial to you. The semi-selfish goal is I hope that this course also was able to serve as a way to change your mind a little bit. Whether you like physics is the thing that you hate the most in life, that you extremely despise, it's completely fine with me. No offense taken. It's completely fine. Or if you were okay with physics, or even if you liked it, wherever your starting point is, hopefully I've just increased that just a little bit, and you found physics just a little more interesting, or just a little bit different from what you expect. All right, so that is a part of my selfish goal, but why is it still relevant to you? All right, so obviously I want to share what I find interesting to people. It's just human nature. If you like something, if you like a certain Italian restaurant, you won't shut up about it and tell people about it, right? So obviously there's that, but also I think this will benefit you. To my goal really, as you realize, is none of the goal is really teaching you any physics. So if you feel that you have learned no physics from my lectures and you learn more by reading, I've achieved my goal. It's not an excuse or a little bit, but just kidding aside, right? That it's not an excuse really to not teach you anything, but in some sense, I did not want to teach you all the things, nor do I really want to teach you anything through lectures. What I really want is to be able to walk into your life and be able to show you the skills so that you can succeed. This is the corny and the most cheesy philosophy in the world of teaching a man how to fish instead of giving them the fish. What I really want is even more than teaching you how to fish. It's teaching you how to learn to fish. I want to do that. So you don't need someone to come to teach you how to fish. If you know the skills on how to learn something, that's the most important thing. So hopefully implicit throughout the lectures, I've showed you how do you find ways to succeed. I've said in this course, we've set up Piazza, a public forum, a private forum within our class, but public in the sense of free exchange of ideas with your colleagues. This is something in real life you want to do when you learn something. To read the textbook. It's always a pleasure, by the way, to teach biomedical or pre-med students and biomedical students, because you guys are absolutely one of the most hardworking group of students I've had the pleasure of always teaching. It's always a pleasure to work with you guys. You ask a math major to read a textbook, they cry. I know because that was me. I used to joke as a math major, in my major, the longest thing I have to write or read is an email. So but for a lot of pre-med students and even humanities students or even pre-law students who have a pleasure to teach, some of the most hardworking, and you never are afraid to pick up a book, and you shouldn't stop now. Physics should not stop you from picking up a book. Yes, it is very difficult to read, but so it's life. The things you want to learn, sometimes they're difficult, right? So what am I here for? The way I see it is, hopefully I've made the topic slightly more interesting. I want to play that role. And so my role is to make your reading easier. It's not to do the reading for you. I've read it before. I know what the book says. The problem is now you want to know what the book says. So I'm not going to tell you everything the book says because that is not my goal. So I want you to be able to do that. And nowadays, I think learning how to Google is a very important skill. Learning how to, or I should say, an unnamed and unsponsored search engine. you can, that is a very valuable skill, and how to find information in the web. If the textbook's not doing anything for you, go find a YouTube video. Go find go buy another textbook. Go read another article on the internet. If you learn the stuff, if you can do the stuff, that is fine with me. I don't care how you learn to fish. As long as you've learned how to fish, that's fine. If you learn how to go on a search engine, go on Google and find out how to fish, I rather teach you the skill on how to Google and how to find out how to communicate and find experts that can teach you the things that you know, which in our case is all our teaching and our excellent teaching assistants, a great teaching team that is here to help you. So being able to reach out, ask questions, these are much more important skills. So hopefully I've been able to do that. If I have, I think I've succeeded in at least some of those goals. If I haven't, well, I'll go back and reflect on this on my own. So, all right. So really, it's nothing much more for me to say, and I don't want to waste any of your valuable time to study because you want to now take all the skills that you have either explicitly or implicitly learned through listening to me babble for 5 weeks and apply them onto your textbook. All right. So hopefully on the selfish side, I've changed your mind a little bit about physics, made this a little bit easier for you to read the book and learn the subjects. And even without my help in the future, hopefully these skills will help you with physics 3B and 3C. And if you don't get the same motivation from any other people, if you don't get it from me, that all right, no offense taken as well, don't worry. Different people resonate with different people. But so if you do not resonate with any of your future professors, not necessarily in physics, but any subject, do your own motivation, go on YouTube. There's plenty of excellent people nowadays. I think it's a great time to be alive with such diverse information out there. they're excellent people. I've got motivated in studying physics after I failed my physics exam when I first started in my career. And I got remotivated by great documentaries. Well, that was sort of before YouTube was popular. Yeah, so that's a fantastic way to really learn and be able to be successful in whatever you do. All right. So genuinely, sincerely, all the best to all of you guys. And I hope you a very bright future, and there will be chances to actually cross paths with you guys again sometime. All right. And have a good day and study well. And also, just a little shameless self-promotion as well. The previous course I did last year on Physics 3B is also all on my YouTube channel as well. And obviously, I'm not trying to plug anything, but if you are interested, you can check that out. And I will be the first to say they are not very good. That is the first time I was trying with online teaching. That was in the beginning of 2020, and we all know what happened with the thing we should not speak of. So they are not very good. I would be the first to say. But if you will be able to find any value out of that, feel free to check them out. I hope they will be just provide any help to you. Anyway, so all right, all the best, good luck, and bye for real.